Hello and welcome to the beautiful Sursa Hall, home of the first episode of the SportsLink Studio Show this school year.
With 18 years of history and over 360 performances happening in this space, Sursa Hall has become a staple in the Ball State community.
And tonight we'll be showcasing stories that will take you all around the world and also demonstrate how friendships are made through the power of sport.
I'm Madison Surface here with Hudson French and Charlie Maurer, and this is SportsLink Stories presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
SportsLink Stories showcases the best stories of Ball State athletes. Victory Honda of Muncie proudly supports those athletes and the storytellers of Ball State SportsLink through the award-winning program SportsLink Stories.
Let's get started.
Victory Honda of Muncie, powering Ball State athletics and Ball State SportsLink.
Hudson, we are so lucky to be sitting on one of the most prestigious stages in our area.
Absolutely. When musicians perform here, they shine the brightest. This is where they're in their element. And on a stage of their own, we got to witness Ball State's athletes perform for the intro videos.
Ready? Ready to party, we came and we started. I'm under them dangerous, I can't be guarded. Follow the plane, I cannot be caught. Just aim for the target, bow, bow, bow. Chasing the title like drones, the circle got smaller, but we came for the victory. Eyes on the prize, we running low at a time. My watch on the killing spree. Gotta make sure that it gets to me. We got a chance to make history. Roasting my competition, just go fishing and get you a boat. We the best, ain't no need for a fight. I walk on the field, I help the team get a lead. What you need 6 and we shooting for 3. Showtime. Yeah, I'm ready to speak. No time. I'm ready to be. Goal line. I'm ready to freak. Spree. The lights is on. It's time to perform. You hear that I'm ready? Just listen to horns. To lose. I've got nothing to lose. I've got everything to prove. I got everything to prove. I have got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. I've got everything to prove. I got everything to prove.
Behind every great performance is a great BTS team.
Let's check out some of the behind-the-scenes footage from a SportsLink production.
Today we're doing a photo shoot, video, and an interview. And I think it's a great way to put us out there and be able for our fans and other people to get a sneak peek of the season.
The intro shoot just means that the season is almost here. A lot of creative ideas, the SportsLink cast.
SportsLink's the best crew in the whole world. We appreciate them, and it was a fun time. My favorite part about the pictures, man, we had some cool little props, and you know, we got to do any pose we want.
Here today in Muncie, Indiana, and I don't think these are supposed to fit like this.
We did videos, so we did like slow motion, looking at the camera and pointing at it. We did some soccer tricks and people were doing flips down there, so excited to see it.
We've never done this, and I like the treatment, you know? Yeah. Having all the pictures and the action shots.
I would say I feel like this is the D1 experience right here. Like this is what we signed up for, the cool headshots and the hype videos and all that. So it's been pretty cool, good experience.
And a great look at our fall creative shoots presented by Ball State SportsLink as we welcome you to the Grand Worthington Arena. Both basketball and volleyball takes place here in Worthington Arena as we take you to our next athlete, Natalie Reese, who has experience in both sports.
Hey, this is Natalie Reese, outside hitter for Ball State Women's Volleyball. I started volleyball in 2nd grade. I went to my first camp. I started playing club. In 4th grade, I started playing a travel team with one of my best friends. She brought me along to her tryouts with her. And after that, I just fell in love with it. My family is a huge basketball family, so nobody else played volleyball, and I just kind of picked my own path with that. This summer, I lived in Muncie with the team. It was super fun. We went to Costa Rica earlier in the summer, and then later in the summer, we just came back and worked out and took classes, did an internship, and hung out and had fun.
Natalie Reese, she just does so much for our team. She is one of those people that is kind of the unsung hero because she's playing defense all 6 rotations. She's constantly that person that you just look to get it done.
My expectations are high. I think we have a really special group. We definitely did come off of a good year, but this is a new year that we have ahead of us. My expectation for myself is just to be a big leader for the team, taking my experience that I've had on the court and hoping to influence the younger girls and the new guys to be more comfortable and really buy into the Ball State volleyball culture. Volleyball's definitely taught me a ton. It's taught me hard work and dedication, and it's taught me just like how to be a leader. You're put in so many times of adversity, and learning how to overcome those has taught me a lot. Go Cards.
People come from all over the world to sit in these very seats and watch beautiful performances. A field hockey player, Carrie McClay, recently got to travel the world herself. Let's take a look at her story.
I did a lot of traveling this summer. I went to Ireland, the United Kingdom, Spain, Italy, and South Africa. My parents always influenced me to travel while you're young, while you have no responsibilities. My favorite place was Cape Town, South Africa. I had no idea how big rugby was there because I had just come from Ireland and thought it was huge there. And then going to Cape Town and seeing one of those games, I was like, oh my gosh, it's even bigger here. And that was really, really cool. I also went skydiving and shark cage diving and paragliding. I knew I wanted to go somewhere this summer, and it actually started as just going to Spain. I was going to visit Paloma, my teammate, and from there it just kept building. Oh, I might as well just book the next flight. Oh, I could go here, and then Mick said South Africa, and I had to go see Mick in South Africa.
She said I'm at the airport, so I picked her up. Like, I knew she was coming, but I didn't actually know until she got there, because everyone says they're coming to South Africa, and then Carrie was the first one.
It was so special to meet their families, like their parents who I've talked to over FaceTime and heard stories of, and their siblings, and then to actually be in their homes and, you know, hearing about them when they were kids and just like being in their environment. It was like, it's just insane. It was so cool, and it was really special. Our bond has grown so much closer just from that one trip that I went to see her family. I mean, I'm talking to her all the time about her sister, her mom, her dad, because like I know them now, and like I feel like they're part of my family.
No one has actually ever seen like where I live besides on like social media. So then when Carrie came, I was like, I can actually show you what it's like, and she said it lived up to her expectations. She said it was the best place, so I was happy with it.
If I didn't play field hockey, I have no idea who I would be as a person. Like, this was totally like meant to be my life path, because I need sports, like I need the structure. Everywhere I've gone, everything I've done, field hockey has brought me there, and that is such a niche like opportunity. And I'm just like so grateful for all the people that I've met on the way, and appreciative, because this is like a 1% opportunity.
Back here in the SL studio on the campus of Ball State University, I'm Charlie Maurer, and this is the Woman of the Hour, Carrie McClay. Carrie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We obviously just saw the pack, 5 countries in one summer. I know you talked about it a little bit in the interview before, but I mean, what's the one overarching thing that you took away? I mean, the different cultures, the people, what was one thing you took away from those trips?
I would say that I can't get enough. I'm ready to go back. I have so many more places on my bucket list. I did some crazy things, met some really amazing people, and I just really want to do it again. I'm excited for next summer because more to come.
And you mentioned that you have some more places on your bucket list, so the question is, where are you going next?
So I think that myself and my roommates and another senior on the team, we're going to do Europe, as much as we can of Europe, do the Interrail, go to as many countries as possible, and yeah, that's the plan. Maybe next summer we'll get to Australia, we'll see.
And a big focal point of the story was you going to South Africa and seeing your teammate Mick. I mean, I know you talked about it a little bit already, but I mean, what was that like going into her home and seeing her culture and being able to experience that?
It was really surreal. When I landed in South Africa, I honestly had a moment where I was like, wow, I'm in South Africa, like I'm in Mick's home. This is where she grew up. This is where her family is. And it was cool to be the first teammate to actually go there and meet her family, all her friends. I loved them all so much, and yeah, it was awesome. I think it's really grown the bond between Mick and I, and yeah, it was really cool.
Just to switch the topic a little bit and talk about field hockey in the season so far. I mean, you guys are having a fantastic season. Kind of a simple question, but why? What's going on? What's the camaraderie like in the locker room, and why are you guys having so much success throughout this year?
You know, I think SportsLink put it really well in the beginning of the season. They said it's Ball State field hockey's new era, and it totally is. Caitlin Walsh has just come in and revolutionized the team. We're just all on the same page. Everyone's full speed ahead. We know what we want. We want a MAC championship. We want MAC conference champs, and everyone's on board. So I'm just really excited to keep this going. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. I know I'll be rooting for you, and the rest of Ball State will be rooting for you too. So again, Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, back to Hudson and Madison.
Keeping on the around the world theme, introducing A Taste of Home.
A series where international athletes speak in their native language and give us insight into their homeland.
Looking beyond the campus of Ball State, this series will uncover the cultures and traditions from around the world through the voices of our international athletes as SportsLink presents A Taste of Home.
Meu nome é Marcela Ribeiro e eu nado os 1.500 livre, os 1.000 metros livre, 500 metros livre e 200 livre. Eu sou do Brasil e eu falo português. Eu acredito que quando você fala sobre o Brasil, vem muito em mente a questão do futebol, porque o nosso país é muito conhecido por isso, o que no caso em inglês é soccer. Mas eu acho que o Brasil é muito mais e vai muito mais além do futebol. A gente tem uma culinária incrível, a gente tem cidades maravilhosas e a gente tem uma vasta cultura que varia muito de estado para estado. E eu acho que o Brasil é basicamente isso, é uma miscigenação de culturas e de pessoas. E é isso, é muito diverso. E é um lugar que eu nasci, cresci e vivi lá por bastante tempo. Então eu sinto muito orgulhosa de falar que eu vim de Uberlândia e que essa é a minha cidade natal.
In classical music, tradition is everything. That's why you continue to hear old songs reprised as inspiration.
A soccer player, Avery Fenchel, finds inspiration in her family. Let's take a look.
Yeah, blow out.
People say I have a fiery personality.
Yeah, blow out.
I'm a pretty intense person, but I can have a lot of fun at times.
You know what time it is? Blow out. When you hear the bells ring, blow out.
I know when to have focus and I know when to have fun, so very opposite ends of the spectrum, but I think I can do both.
I don't need nobody's help, no, I just crawled back from hell. I did, I made a crowd go loco, scream at the voices up in my head. Blow up, show out, I put the city on time out.
Avery Fenchel able to take away. Fenchel fires, and it's a goal for the Ball State Cardinals.
So I've always been close to my dad growing up. I would consider us more of best friends than a father-daughter situation. I think he's always pushed me in sports. I think he had that same drive, almost like a perfectionism kind of thing.
So I think it's kind of twofold. She got some of my negative traits, being stubborn or being impatient, but sometimes, you know, that helps her on the field. You know, that persistence and really wanting to get something done.
He comes to almost all my games and stuff, and so I think he had that mentality in college and the always wanting to be better sort of mentality, and so I think he definitely instilled that in me, and I think I've carried that forward.
I just know how hard she's worked. Her first love is playing soccer. I just remember, like, she would play so hard. Like, she would, when she was like little, we just called her Monster Baby because she was just all over the place. And she would play until she fell asleep.
Yeah, the wood is yours. It's never over.
We have the ability to compete with every team this year. If we come out and battle every game, I think we can stay with anyone.
Don't try to do me wrong, I strike you like a cobra. You better pray you make it home, they know me as the closer. It's the takeover. Make weight is the takeover. I see him looking
just that grit to just get the job done and put it in the back of the net, I think will be a game changer. We have a lot of people supporting us. All our parents are very supportive. You'll see people on Twitter just being supportive towards us. Just that alone, having people there, knowing we have support behind us, helps empower us to go do better each and every day. Everyone kind of has the same goal. We're looking for a ring. That's the goal of the season.
Thank you to Avery and her dad for trusting us to tell her story.
Now let's check in with Charlie Maurer at the Briner Sports Complex.
Hey, thanks, Hudson and Madison. We now welcome you to Briner Sports Complex, home of Ball State Field Hockey and Ball State Soccer. Speaking of Ball State Soccer, Maya Millis having a fantastic season along with her team. But for Maya Millis, her love for the sport is not exclusive to the game of soccer.
Our team culture this year, I feel like, is really good. I think we have put a lot of work into making sure we have a team culture, probably more than most teams have. Everyone is very close and we're all there for each other and fighting for each other. So I think that is going to bring us a lot of success.
Maya is so steady, she's smart, consistent with her play. You talk about consistency, I think she's been someone who has a level of consistency that I hope as a staff we don't ever take for granted.
In soccer, like, no pressure really gets to me too much because it doesn't compare to your whole entire high school watching you kick a football. My really close friend's dad was the freshman football coach, and they didn't have a kicker, so they called me one day and they were like, hey, we're coming to pick you up, like, bring your cleats. And I was like, okay. And we pulled up to the football field and the varsity coaches, all the coaches were standing there and they had 5 footballs and they're like, if you can kick them through, you're the kicker. And I made all 5. Once I made them, they were like, would you want to do it? And I was friends with all of them, so I was like, sure. It was definitely a different experience. I mean, I obviously had played football before. It's definitely a lot different than soccer, like being under the lights and being a kicker. Like when you go out there, everyone's watching you, like there's nothing else going on. My JV year, we were playing against like the best team and I made the game-winning field goal at the end of the game and we won. So that would be probably my favorite football moment. It was definitely different than a soccer team. The team atmosphere of like a team of girls and a team of guys is definitely different. I would say it was a lot of fun though. Like you usually wouldn't get that insight to like a football team and like the team bonding and everything. So that was super cool to see how that is.
She's always kind of a pretty just level-headed person. You know, it doesn't surprise me that she went and did what she did in high school, right, kicking for the football team, because I think you have to have that mentality if you want to go and be a kicker at any level.
I would say like it honestly built my leg strength. Like I can hit a ball pretty far, and I'd say like before football and after football, like my leg strength and being able to do that did increase. The MAC championship is the expectation. I think the preparation going into it, the extra things we're all doing, the time we're spending planning for that is going to get us there.
Every performance, this hall is filled with people coming to support their loved ones.
Now, one of the football players that was not afforded that luxury, Australian punter Lucas Burrow. He and his family reunited after a year and a half away. Here's a teaser.
One of the hardest things to do as a parent is to let your child go.
Being here, it gives me an opportunity to do what I want to do and live out my dream. So, yeah, it's a bit of a sacrifice I had to make.
It's just an amazing spectacle to watch him. It seems to us like he's a superstar.
There is absolutely not anything that I could that would get in the way of me talking to my parents at all. I try and talk to them as much as I can, and yeah, nothing will ever get in the way of that. My family's traveling from Australia, and they'll see me play American football for the first time ever. I don't know if many words will be said straight away. I'll probably be trying to hold in the emotions, but yeah, I'll try not to tear up too much, but yeah, I'll probably just big hug and actually be able to have a conversation with them face to face will just be insane. And where could they possibly be right now?
We thank you for attending our premier event of SportsLink Stories for the 2022 school year.
Be sure to follow us at BSU SportsLink on Twitter and Instagram to keep up with all things Ball State sports.
I'm Madison Surface with Hudson French and Charlie Maurer, and we'll see you next month in a new location for SportsLink Stories presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.